Over last 8 years, the vision of Digital India has really taken us to a level where we have a very successful, we were able to deliver vaccines to 1 billion plus people, actually 2.2 billion vaccine doses, scheduling for that scale with all the logistics challenges that we had, right? And giving the certificate instantaneously. It was a massive work, and that was only possible because of the technology stack. Payment system that we have today, the UPI payment system, phenomenally successful. As we speak, it is almost like India's 55% of India's GDP transactions are today happening. Second part, we'll be taking the startup ecosystem to tier 2 cities, tier 3 cities. We see so much talent coming out of smaller cities and towns, so we would try to channelize that. Third, we will be focusing on so India has been ranked as #1 talent concentration geography. So we would like to channelize that through very stable, a very good, very comprehensive legal and regulatory ecosystem.
Every time I come, the sophistication of the India startup ecosystem, it's measurably improving. Part of what we have done with the India Digitization Fund is increasingly focusing on our investments towards startups from India, like Glance. And, these companies are getting noticeable scale. And increasingly, as you heard earlier, we have announced a $300 million fund with a focus. 1/4 of the fund will go towards startups led by women. You look at the US as a market, the reason startups are successful is when they build something, they have an access to a 300 million plus market. And it's easy to build something which scales across the entire country. This hasn't always been true in places like Europe, because you have to scale across 26 markets, and it's tough for a startup to get that scale. I think that's the opportunity India has. How do you make sure a startup can easily scale across the entirety of an Indian market? So I think those are all ways by which policies can help, and we can play a role as well. But there is no better time to do a startup than the current moment, even though we are working through a macroeconomic moment like this. Companies like Google were created in moments of a downturn. So I think, I'm very bullish about it over time.
See, the rich people can always take care of themselves, right? Our focus is always on the middle class and the poorer sections of the society. As government, we are very keen to make sure that every section of the society, marginalized sections of the society, they are able to get the benefits of technology the way some of us who are better endowed, similar level of technology benefits, they should also be able to get. So we'll be focusing on AI, multiple sectors as well as different sections of the society.
I think it'll touch every sector over time. And so, but for us, core to our mission, people come to Google to find information. We are increasingly use AI to scale up the number of languages we can offer. We recently added 9 new Indian languages, Assamese, Bhojpuri, Konkani, etc. Now we are working on one powerful AI model which can bring information across 1,000 languages. So all that we can use to make sure it's available to more people. But over time, I think the biggest change is, as humans, we look at the world around us, we listen to what's happening, you see with your eyes, and then that's how you consume information. So being able to bring all that is what I think AI will end up playing a role. Whether you're showing an image or you look at something and say, tell me about this. We want to bring all that as experiences to our users. And I think AI will end up playing a powerful role, and I'm very excited about it.
So the interest on India's stack is there throughout the world. So it's a very unique way of looking at developing technology and taking it to the society, right? Multiple number of small constructs which put together can create a great solution. We believe that in this entire development of India's stack, the role of private sector is very, very important. And that they can create their own solutions which meet their requirements. So for example, the payment is a very good solution. A very good example. Our thought process is that we provide the platform and the private sector starts using that platform to build new solutions. So I think not only in the emerging economies, but also in well-developed, very advanced economies also, people are showing a lot of interest in it. We have MOUs on payment system itself with about 30 odd countries by now.
In our experience, we see that playing out in Google. We saw the opportunity on top of UPI. In fact, I used the UPI example in other countries around the world. And, we built Google Pay in India based on the UPI stack. And now we are bringing that to other countries around the world. There are many more examples of it. We used AI technology to develop flood forecasting for India. And, with the scale of the market here, being able to find a solution. And in many cases in India, you can leapfrog and get to the next solution faster. So I think it'll be a big incentive for us to do it here and then take it to other countries, which sometimes are slower to go through these phases. So I see this trend as something which will be increasing over time.
In my view, humanity has created institutions and structures throughout its whatever number of 1,000 years. Each big quantum jump that happens in the way we live, new challenges come up, right? And we have to find out ways and means by which we create a very balanced way of absorbing technology, because technology brings many new opportunities with it. It also brings many new challenges with it. How do we create a legal and regulatory structure which is in tune with times, which matches India's needs, which is built around our realities? So that's the way we are working, and Prime Minister has given us a very clear target of creating a comprehensive legal regulatory framework. So we are creating 3 horizontals. First is the telecom bill, which is for the carrier. Second is the digital protection bill, which is focused around enforcing citizens' privacy rights. And third is the Digital India bill. It's a very comprehensive outlook. We should be able to complete this exercise in the coming 14 to 16 months. The 2 bills by July, August, it should pass the Parliament. And we have a very open process of consultation with all the stakeholders. A lot of time on consultation, on understanding what people's concerns are. So net, the solution which is emerging is really good. And most people who have interacted so far with us have shown that, have kind of expressed that this kind of template is needed in many other economies which are rapidly getting digitized.
Look, I think, if you look at the scale at which tech is working, and it's so touching the lives of, people around the world, to me it makes sense that, tech needs responsible regulation. I think it's important for countries to think about how to best safeguard its citizens, be it privacy, be it security. And so I think it's an important phase, and so we are engaging constructively, and it's important to make sure you're balancing, and putting in safeguards for people. You're creating innovative framework so that companies can innovate, on top of a certainty in the legal framework. So I think it's an important moment in time. But through it all, hopefully India can also be a voice for, India will also be a big export economy, will benefit from a open and connected internet. And I think getting that balance right, I think will be important.
On population scale, think on global scale, because components which are needed for creating a very humongously big scale solution are today available.
I definitely agree with that. I would also say for young people, tech is much broader than just programming or engineering alone, be it policy, be it ethics. So just thinking about tech holistically, I think will create opportunities for many more people. So, the more people can get involved across all walks of life, I think tech will be better for society.